Good morning, guys. I literally just rolled out of bed a few minutes ago. You can hear it in my voice. I'm not even up yet, but I just wanted to do a quick little update video and tell you guys what's going on, because I'm probably not going to be posting a big video this week because, wait for it, dun, 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 dun. It's Titan. Oh, but what's that? Guys, look. The logging that I've been talking about for the last year is finally happening. It's crazy. They started yesterday. They mostly got the horse pasture done. Let me zoom out. So if you'll remember, the garden's right there. There was a whole line of trees right here. There was that huge oak tree that really shaded the garden. Those are all gone. They're slash pile, and then they've got a few log piles, and of course everything's a mess in here. But that's what happens when you're having logging done. And the garden is now this morning getting morning sun for the first time in its life. Normally the garden doesn't get sun until about 1. Spots of it will start getting sun around 11, but most of it doesn't get sun until 1, and then it lasts fleetingly because the trees in other areas cause problems. But look at this. There's no big oak tree. I mean, it was a beautiful tree, but all of our oaks have diseases out here, and it was in danger of tipping over the doghouse or hitting the doghouse in the garage. I got video of it coming down. I'll be taking daily videos throughout the process, and I'll put together like a big logging the property video to share with you guys. You can see the horse shelter we brought up here. It was back in there. There was just trees that were in danger of hitting it. It got a little beat up on the move. Some of the paneling broke, but that's okay. We'll either replace it or we won't. Now that the horses have the barn, it's not a big deal. But here's the big oak tree. And now you can see the garden is a nice L shape. It's so much easier to show you what the garden looks like. Maybe easier for you to see all my weeds. Did you find some logs, Titan James? And we got logs there, and there, and there, and there's logs all over on that side that you can't see. So that area behind the garden the horses did have access to, but it's really messy because there was a lot more trees in there. So I just ran up, you can see, just 2 hot wire strands just to keep them in this arena space because it's a little less crazy, and they should only, hopefully, as long as everything goes good, be here for about a week. You want to come on the tree? Come on. Can you make it up here? He's like, you're crazy. I'm old. Hi, son. But they should only be here for about a week, and then the last days they'll be pulling the logs out, and then I already know people that would be happy to come and take some of the stuff in the slash piles for firewood. So we're going to use up as much of this as possible, and I am really excited. They did hit a little bit of the back of the garden fence, but it didn't do too much damage. It knocked over a few lilies, but those will come back just fine next year. You know, it didn't go under the ground or anything. The next spot that they have to do that I'm nervous for is around the chicken coop. I'll zoom over there because a lot of those trees lean over the chicken coop, so I'm hopeful that we don't squish the chicken coop. I may end up moving the chickens out before they do it because they're locked in there right now, obviously, with all this big machinery out and about. I do not want the chickens out. So we will see, but it's going really well so far. It was so cool to watch a professional cut down this big of a tree because it took him less than 90 seconds and it just went perfectly where he wanted it to go, and it was really cool. So now that yesterday was crazy because we locked the horses in the big stall, the dogs in the small stall, because I didn't want them in here when that tree came down, and then we were opening different fencing sections for him to get in and moving the shelter and then putting the fencing back up at night so the horses and dogs could come back out, and it was a little nuts. My whole body hurts. But I had to move those stall mats, which is honestly probably why my whole body hurts, because if you've never moved a stall mat, they are not super heavy, but they're really awkward. I even skinned my knee moving them. But the tracks on that thing are wicked, and they would have totally tore them up. They were inside where the shelter was. So I wanted them to come out so that they don't just die on me. But yeah, it's finally happening. Yay, sunlight. The garden is gonna go insane having sun all of a sudden. But it's exciting. So just wanted to give you guys that update, and I'm gonna go make breakfast and then hopefully get out here and do a little bit of weeding before it gets super hot this afternoon.